Great awakening, light lords, and grand rising to those who have not yet awoken. To know that everything has its own season, cycle, its own time to happen. Today I'm going to be talking about the law of rhythm again. I'm going to explain some things more thoroughly. In my last video, I basically pointed out neutralization. In the Kabbalion, it states that a master using his will can escape from, or seem like he can escape from, the law of rhythm by placing his focus completely on staying in the conscious state, basically staying in the conscious state of doing things. So in this video, I'll be explaining more on the compensation, dealing with the law of rhythm, things going equally forward, equally backward, equally inward, equally outward. Basically, for however much distance a thing goes is however much distance the thing returns. You have a birth, growth, death, and rebirth. These things continuously happen. Like I said in my last video, there's an infinite process. There's everything repeating itself. Everything has its own different processes, but the law of rhythm just speaks generally about energy in the universe, period. Like if you shoot a rocket up into the sky and it stops at a certain point, the same amount of distance that rocket covered is the same amount of distance it will take for their rocket to hit the ground again. So when it comes to people and when it comes to different mental states of the human being, a certain person, however much a person can enjoy a certain thing, is however much a person can experience pain and suffering also. So in order for one of the techniques that you can use in order to experience pleasure is to basically put yourself through pain, put yourself through suffering. Okay, this is the law of compensation. This is the technique of compensation. If there first must be suffering in order to enjoy pleasure, in order to have pleasure, there first must be some type of suffering or some type of challenge or obstacle. There must be some type of challenge or obstacle in order for you to even overcome it and experience the pleasure of having overcame that obstacle or challenge. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean go out and murder people and start drama with people, or hurt yourself by cutting yourself, or doing something depressing, or doing something like super negative to your body, or basically defiling yourself or another person that you perceive as a person that you perceive as separate from you. Okay, this means that you must do whatever it takes. Okay, that you must put your mind, you must focus your mind on, okay, no matter what I'm feeling, no matter what type of pain or suffering that I'm going through, then I'm going to go through it because I know what's on the other side. Okay, that's what the law of compensation offers. Okay, It deals with the law of rhythm. The law of rhythm splits up into these two categories: compensation and neutralization. So, in order to compensate oneself, it is automatically happening, but in order to notice it more often, you actually have to focus and say, okay, I know I got to go through this task or obstacle, whether I like it or not. I know what's on the other side, and that's what I like. Okay, that's what I actually like. Okay, like right now, I'm working in Babylon. I'm living in Babylon. I'm working in for a system that I don't really like, but I also appreciate it because I know that I can use this system to get to something better. That's what compensation offers, and that's the type of awareness that more people should, well, not should, but I want for more people like me and the people around them to take note of, take more awareness or more awareness in. Okay, you have to focus your energy and pour more energy into doing whatever it takes to get what you want or get what you desire, no matter how much pain or suffering you have to go to get through that thing, knowing that once you get past that obstacle or challenge, that you will have so many prizes or so many trophies, quote unquote, that you will have after that thing. But then you must also know that it keeps going. There's always going to be a challenge or obstacle and an overcoming, then a enjoyment of overcoming. See, that's what the law of rhythm states. Okay, for everything there's an inward, there's an inflow and outflow. There's a birth and death cycle. There's an up cycle, down cycle. There's a there's a there's a forward and a backward. Okay, and however much of each one of those polarities is equal to however much the opposite of the polarity is. So you have to just become more aware of these things and focus your mind on what you actually want. Now, in neutralization, this is when the law is still being applied. You are just doing it. You are now going from an unconscious state to a more conscious state. So the law is playing out in the law is playing out in the unconscious realm or the subconscious realm, and you're just aware. You're just consciously making yourself aware of the conscious. So there's something positive happening and there's something negative happening, but you're only focused so much on the positive that the negative is actually helping you stay positive. An example of this is a while ago, well, a couple of days ago. Okay, I'm in training in my job, so and they let us, have a choice of where they offered us options of what department we wanted to go to. So me and this guy, at the end of it all, they had to supply production needs. So I got a place that I didn't want to go to at all. But I was like, okay, no matter what, I'm still gonna have to work at this job because I'm not just gonna be, broke sitting on my ass not doing nothing. So I was just like, okay. But then they asked, okay, if you have anything to say about it, then you can come meet us in the office. So I was talking with another guy that said he didn't want what the department that I wanted. I wanted the department. I wanted the certain department, and he wanted a whole nother department. And they asked us if we could switch, that we could, but he didn't want to switch with me. So we all had a conversation. Administration, all of us had this conversation. So we didn't switch or anything. So I was in that department for a few days. Hey, dude, settle down, man. Settle down. So me and the guy, we just, everything kept going, and I was just working in the department. So because I accepted it, and I just kept going with it. That's focused on the positive. Now, just a couple days later, one of the administrators came to me and was like, "Hey, dude." One of the administrators came to me and was like, "What department?" Stop. One of the administrators came to me and asked me what department that I want again, and I told them, okay. And so eventually she just fired the other guy. I don't know how or why, but she fired the other guy and put me in the department that he was in, because that's actually the department that I really wanted. Now, see, I perceived that as negative because I didn't even know that she fired the guy. I just heard that somebody got fired and the position open for me, and I was like, cool, I was happy. I'm like, yeah. Then I got over there, and they saying it's the guy that I was that was in orientation with me, and I'm like, dang, really? So I perceived that it's like a negative situation, but I had to take it for what it was, and I was like, well, I got the position, so that's positive. So that's basically the law of neutralization. Some negative happening without you knowing, but it's boosting your positive energy. It's boosting what's going on in your life that you actually want to happen. So what it is in the law of neutralization, you just focus as much as you can in the conscious realm on a certain polarity, and in the law of rhythm, and in the law of rhythm, the law of rhythm will take the opposite polarity and have it happen in your unconscious mind or in your subconscious mind, to where you hardly even perceive it, but it's still going on. The law of rhythm still happens. It's still going on. It's still going on. It's always working throughout the universe. Just because you don't perceive it or are not aware of it doesn't mean it's not happening. So what you must do is either have the will to want the compensation for what to become more aware of the compensation of things that you would like. Basically saying, okay, no matter what pain and suffering I have to go through, I'm going to go through this, because I know if I go through so much pain and suffering that I'm going to have the same amount of pleasure. And you just keep doing that over and over again. Or you can do neutralization and basically just throw it all out the window and say, I'm focused straight on this polarity. I'm focused straight on this part, and like nothing's gonna sway me from going, from the pendulum swinging me back that way. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna allow the pendulum to swing me in the other direction. And that then helps you to transcend that pendulum swing onto another level of consciousness, Okay? So the pendulum is still swinging. It's just you jump off of that pendulum onto another pendulum. You get what I'm saying? So I just wanted to cover, cover both the compensation and the neutralization in this video. Share and subscribe. Peace, love, and light. Go research all of this yourself so you can get a even more thorough understanding, and you can activate those genes that you get, from everything repeating itself over and over and over again. You got the dominant genes, you got the recessive genes, and whichever ones you want to be activated is up to you, because the all is the mind, and all things connect to one another. All is one. So peace, love, and light. Have faith, the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I love myself. Peace.